It is Monday, November 30th, 2020, and you are tuned into Dirt Tracker Daily. I'm Justin Fiedler. Today on the show, we are talking Kyle Larson's weekend sweep in Arizona, what's next on the schedule for him. We've got some weekend late model results, some Chili Bowl ride news, and more. But first, this episode is brought to you by Blood Lubricants. Blood carries a high-performance line of synthetic racing oils, and they've got you covered for all sorts of dirt racing applications. Engine oils, gear oils, suspension fluid, cleaning products, you name it, they've got it. If you aren't a racer, though, Blood carries products for all sorts of other applications, too. They can help you out with your four-stroke or two-stroke motorcycle. They've got products for road bikes, ATVs, UTVs. So if you're going to take that four-wheeler or side-by-side out on the trail this fall or winter to do some hunting or just to root around, make sure you check out some Blood Lubricants. Keep that thing tuned up. For the racing community, they've got a great racer support program that offers discounts on products plus free swag, and they support hundreds of racers across many divisions throughout the country. To check out the support program, find out more information, or to buy, visit bloodlubricants.com. That's BLUD lubricants.com. If you'd like to receive 25% off most products, use code DIRT at checkout. That's DIRT, all caps, at checkout. If you happen to, actually, we're going to talk about it here shortly, the Copper Classic this week. And if you were watching the Copper Classic, I believe there were 4 race cars out there that were supported by Blood Lubricants between the sprint cars, between the wing portion and the non-wing portion. So Blood starting to show up lots of different places. The 2020 dirt season has all but closed up shop for most series and tracks throughout the country, but Kyle Larson is still finding places to race and places to win. Over the weekend, he and more than 50 other sprint car drivers took on the Copper Classic at Arizona Speedway with the ASCS Southwest region. Friday night, Carson Macedo led the field to green, but it was Larson from the outside front row who grabbed the early lead on lap 1. It was all Larson out front until the leaders caught lap traffic nearing halfway. Macedo was able to use the top side and traffic to catch the 57 and briefly take the lead, but Larson was just too good. He was quickly back by the Tarleton 21, and he held off the field over the remaining laps to grab his 44th win of 2020. Macedo finished second, Buddy Kofoid third, Rico Abreu fourth, and Colton Hardy was fifth. Stevie Sussex grabbed Friday night's non-wing win over Sterling Clean and Sean Deskins. Saturday night, it was J.J. Hickle and Rico Abreu who started together on the front row, and it was again the driver on the top into turn 1 who took the lead, with Abreu grabbing the top spot. Hickle and Kyle Larson were quickly in pursuit out back. A few laps later, Larson moved past Hickle for second and was then after Abreu for the lead. As the race approached 10 laps in the books, the battle for the lead was on, with Larson throwing sliders and Abreu battling back with crossovers. Later, after a caution-free shredded tire for DJ Neto, Abreu jumped the cushion in turn 4, coming to 7 to go, and that was the opening Larson needed. He slipped by on the front stretch and was able to stretch away from the 24. Larson picked his way through lap traffic over the final laps and drove away to win number 45. Carson Macedo finished second, Rico Abreu slipped to third, JJ Hickle was fourth, and Garrett Williamson finished fifth. It was in the night's non-wing feature, Sterling Clean was able to hold off late charges from Stevie Sussex thanks to some timely cautions to take the win. Sussex was second, Bruce St. James finished third. As for Larson, he mentioned in his post-race interview on Saturday that he has a few races left this year. I'm not certain of his exact schedule, but there's really only a few possibilities left now. The wing sprint car schedule for the season is basically over. There's 2 races. If you go look at the schedule at tjslideways.com, there's 2 winged races left, both at East Bay in Florida. I'd be surprised, though, to see Larson in those races. What I do think is possible is him participating in the Carolina Midget Showdown at Millbridge Speedway here in North Carolina. That's December 12th and 13th. There's some already pretty big-time drivers on the entry list that have been announced, including Chase Elliott, Chase Briscoe, CJ Leary, and quite a few others. So Larson wouldn't be a surprise addition there. The other possibility, I think, is maybe some outlaw kart action, as there are still 3 Red Bluff outlaw races left in 2020 out in California, and Larson has certainly participated at Red Bluff plenty of times in the past. We'll keep you posted, though, as we know more on where to find him in the coming weeks. In late model action over the weekend, the Gobbler at Cochran Motor Speedway in Georgia was rained out. A possible reschedule date has not been announced yet by the track. At 411 Motor Speedway in Tennessee, the Ironman Late Model Series drew a series record 52 cars to the leftover on Saturday. In a race that went caution-free, Jimmy Owens started third, passed Corey Hedgecock on lap 17, and drove away to the $5,000 win. Hedgecock finished second, Randy Weaver was third, Dustin Linville fourth, and Mike Marlar finished fifth. Ryan King finished 16th, which was good enough to see him wrap up the 2020 Ironman Late Model Championship. Looking ahead to the weekend, Alltech Raceway in Florida is hosting 2 days of 602 late models paying $5,000 to win, and the Extreme Dirt Car Series is back Saturday at Volunteer Speedway in Tennessee. Brandon Overton won the Extreme season opener back at Cherokee Speedway a couple weeks ago. We'll talk about those races more as the weekend approaches. In some other news over the last few days, the team and driver lineup for the Chili Bowl continues to take shape. RMS Racing announced a 5-driver group for the assault on the Golden Driller, which includes Justin Grant, Spencer Baston, David Gravel, Thomas Meserol, and Brad Sweet. Grant and Meserol will also team up for full midget programs in 2021, including chasing the 2020 USAC Midget National Championship. NOS Energy Drink will follow Grant to RMS as his primary sponsor. Sweet will be back for his second year with RMS, while Baston and Gravel will be new additions to the team at Chili Bowl. Meserol has been competing with RMS for the last couple of years. He even picked up a couple of USAC wins this season. And attempting his first ever Chili Bowl will be World of Outlaws competitor Carson Macedo. Kind of surprising to think that Macedo has yet to compete in a Chili Bowl. He will pilot the Tarleton 21 in Tulsa, and while this will be his rookie year at the Chili Bowl, Macedo is certainly no stranger to midgets. He ran for Keith Coons back in 2016. He's run scattered races here and there for Tarleton. He's raced down under. Macedo actually even won a midget race recently at Keller Auto Speedway out in California. So I would expect Macedo to be a factor early and often in Tulsa. Speaking of midgets and the Chili Bowl, stay tuned later today for the newest episode of Dirt Tracker Conversations. Longtime sprint car and midget competitor Brad Loyette joins the show to talk about his career, the freak accident that ended his time behind the wheel, his business life now, and much, much more. You can find that episode with Brad Loyette in this podcast feed or on the Dirt Tracker YouTube channel. I'll certainly be tweeting about that later today once I get that posted. I would assume maybe later this afternoon, 2, 3 o'clock, something like that. Eastern time will be when I post that episode. There are 2 items on the streaming schedule today, with USAC 24/7 happening over at Flow Racing as usual, and then Dirt Vision is streaming round 4 of the iRacing World of Outlaws Sprint Car World Championship. They are taking on the virtual Eldora Speedway tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. To see the full schedule, visit dirttracker.com/watch tonight. Don't forget that iRacing show is free to watch tonight. We'll recap that tomorrow on the show as well. That's it for today. Hope everybody has a good Monday. You can find Dirt Tracker Daily on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or where you get podcasts. You can also find us in the podcast section of Amazon Music. Please subscribe and leave a review. Leaving reviews and being a subscriber certainly helps the show to continue growing. So I appreciate everyone that has done that so far. You can also watch the show every day on YouTube and Facebook. You can email the show at info@dirttracker.com, and you can follow along at facebook.com/dirttracker, twitter.com/dirttracker, and the website itself, dirttracker.com. You can follow me personally on Twitter at Justin_Fiedler. Thanks everybody for tuning in. That's it for today. We'll see you tomorrow for more Dirt Tracker Daily.